and we'll share the recording with you all after it's uploaded. So again, name, pronouns, location, and then what brings you, why are you here? And I'll pass it to Lewis if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Everyone, my name is Lewis, and I'm one of the mentors here. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm in Sacramento, California. And I've been doing Collab Lab for a few years now. I took a break last year, but I just started coming back to it. And I currently work as a senior staff engineer at a startup, a mental health startup, that does telehealth. And I work remotely, so that's what I do. And I'll pass it over to Ronaldo.
Hey everyone, my name is Ray. I'm living in Silver Spring, Maryland, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm also a full stack developer, but currently I'm a job seeker. And this is my first time mentoring in the Collab Lab. Actually, thanks to Ayu to bringing me here. And yep, that's all about me. I will pass to Ayu.
Hi, my name is Ayu, and she, her, and I am the code of conduct responder for this team, and I'm based in the Netherlands, so it's already dark here. And yeah, so maybe you would see me in the next couple of weeks sliding into your DM for a one-on-one chat for the code of conduct. And I will pop on it to Shane.
Hello, my name's Shane. My pronouns are he, him. I'm based in Broomfield, Colorado. I'm originally from Illinois. And yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of the Collab Lab. I'm just looking for, yeah, more practice with the workflow of working together remotely.
Perfect. That's what we want. Yeah, go ahead, Shane. Do you want to pass it to someone?
Yeah, and I'll pass it to Davina.
Hi, I'm Davina. She, they. I am located in Seattle, Washington. I just joined the tech industry last year after traveling for a little bit. Wanted to join an industry that would give me more flexibility to travel. So I did a coding boot camp 6 months last year, and then now I'm kind of in the job search and wanted an opportunity to work in a team and collaborate with others before I join the workforce. So yeah. I will pass it off to Andrea.
Good morning. My name is Andrea. I use she, her pronouns, and I am in the Washington, D.C./Maryland area. My background is in special education. So I've actually been working in the schools for the past 7 years or so. And during the pandemic, when we went remote, I was like, all right, perfect opportunity to explore. And so I am mostly self-taught / community taught, and really excited for this opportunity to be able to work in an entire workflow. And I've never done pair programming before. So Davina, you are in for a treat when we do it this week. I guess I'll pass it off to Emily.
Yeah, thanks. My name's Emily. My pronouns are she, her. I'm in Durham, North Carolina. And my background is in criminal justice research. And last year I just decided I wanted to, do something different, take on a new challenge. And I had always liked the programming part of my job before. And so I did a coding boot camp, and same reason as everyone else, I'm excited to kind of get practice with the whole process of working with others.
Yay, amazing. I believe that was everyone. Wonderful, wonderful. I forgot to mention what my job is, which is maybe relevant for y'all, which I work as a front-end engineer at a media agency here in the DC area. So yes, amazing. I wanted to give a moment, Ayu, I don't know if there was anything specific, if there was anything you wanted to address to the team as our code of conduct responder, or if you're mostly just here to observe and introduce yourself. Was there anything else?
No, mostly just to introduce myself.
Okay,
so
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, like Ayu said, you'll all be hearing from her. We take our code of conduct very seriously. So if there's ever any problems, please, 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 Ayu is your person to help you address that. We we want this to be a very welcoming, safe place. And that's why we prioritize our code of conduct so much. Not that you should be worried, like that there's like all these issues, but we have like a very streamlined process in place just to make sure that if there are ever any issues, you have someone to go to. Also just wanted, before we jump in, to give space if does anyone have any lingering questions that weren't addressed in our project brief or in the orientation, or any confusion about what to expect over the next 10 weeks? You can always come to us if there are any questions, but just wanted to give space if there were any. It doesn't look like there's anything. One thing I wanted to highlight is that you got the calendar invite for this series. If I did it correctly, there should be 9 meetings on your calendar for February through March. There is actually going to be one final meeting the week after our last scheduled meeting, but that's going to be cohort wide. That's going to be a chance for you all to demo your projects with the whole cohort. So that's why it's not scheduled yet, because that's going to be probably scheduled by Stacy or Mindy, someone like above our team level. So just to be aware that the following weekend, there will also be something on your calendar, and hopefully you'll be able to attend, because that's going to be really beneficial to get to, show off everything you've been working on. But you'll hear more about that as that date gets closer. Cool. I think that was everything from a logistical standpoint. I think now I'm going to hand it over to Ray and Lewis to start us on our demo. You all ready to take it away?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your screen, Ray?
Sure. I will start share from my VS Code.
Do we want to show the GitHub issue that we're going to be
Yeah.
looking at,
Sure.
maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go through the first issue and then let's see. So being able to sign in, this is the sign-in ticket. So being able to sign in is a foundational part of our app. It'll allow us to connect users to the shopping lists and give authentication to the app. So I believe the app already has auth set up, but so all we need to do is connect the components and integrate Firebase, the API
Actually,
keys.
Jeremiah just updated, so I think they already removed it, so we can go along with the steps, I believe.
Okay. So what we're going to look at says the use auth hook as well as the sign in and sign up button are imported into layout JSX. So how about we start with that piece first?
Sure.
Actually, before you code,
Mhm.
can you create a branch for me?
Sounds good. So we will create a new branch. The name is like should be the initial, right? I guess.
Yeah, or you can do the convention for the group. I think it's like RSLA, and then I guess you can do sign in or something.
Okay. Sign in.
Can you describe what that convention is, how we came up with that branch name?
Yeah, those are our initials followed by a description of the issue.
Yep. RS, my name, and then LA, Luis, and sign in for the description, and then I will move to the new branch. Okay.
Cool. So you can go ahead and go to the layout JSX file,
Yep.
and then
Layout JSX file.
you can import those 3 components: the use auth, the
Okay.
sign in, and the sign out.
Import use out.
While Ray's doing that, I should have emphasized this to the team, but don't worry too much about the authentication code. You're not going to have to do this. The good thing to focus on here is the process that they're following, if that wasn't already clear to you. So like, what are the Git commands that they're using? And like, notice like, what are the different roles that Lewis and Ray are taking on here? One person is doing more of the typing and one person is describing what we want to do in the code. So this is kind of just to show you like, what is the process going to look like for you? What can the process look like when you're pair programming?
Yeah.
Just in case that wasn't clear, I should have started with that, but.
That's okay.
Okay.
Can you also run the app, right?
Sure.
You
Maybe
can-
yeah. Start here. Okay.
It'll probably show errors, but I think you can still run it.
I think I forget to save it. Oh, let's see. Sign in buttons. Okay. Now should be working.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And yep.
So what was can you go back to the issue again?
Okay. The issue.
The sign in button is displayed on every page if the user is not signed in.
Okay.
So how will we do that?
Sign in button is displayed on every user. Okay. So maybe we need to add somewhere in here, I guess.
Yeah, you can put it under in the header.
Okay. So, and I think we need to add this one first, right? The out,
Yeah.
and get the user in here. Use out. And okay, we get the user.
So I guess if there is a user,
Mhm.
you can show the sign out button, and if not, you can
Okay.
do the sign in.
I think my
Your
GitHub
Copilot's doing
pilot
everything.
is doing anything for me. Okay. Let's see this one first, I guess.
Okay. So let's go back to the app and see what it looks like.
Okay. I think looks like
So
this.
what happens if you click it?
I don't think so because yeah, it's error.
Oh, there's an error.
Yeah, because I think because the config, right?
Mhm.
Configuration.
So can you go to the Firebase config in the VS
Okay.
Code?
Database config. This one. Okay.
Yeah, that's not correct. So let's take a look at it.
Wait.
Firebase.
I
I can give you the values if you want. Let me see what I can find.
think I found it before. Where is it? Not in cloud file storage.
Go to the gear icon
Okay.
and go to project settings. Yeah. And then scroll down.
Oh yeah. So I can just copy paste, right?
Yeah, you can copy and paste that.
Okay. Save it. And then let's try again. Google Chrome. Okay. Let's try to sign in. Let's see. Okay. I
It
think
looks like you signed in already.
Yep. And sign out. Okay.
If you click sign in again, and then do you have the React com the components extension in your Chrome?
Let's see. Okay, I think
Like in inspector.
I will use my Mozilla. Wait, forget in here.
The React Dev Tools, yeah, that one. If you go to the layout or that one, you see the hot auth hook there? Does it show?
It's still, let me sign in again. Real
Oh,
quick.
sign in, yeah. Yeah, click the layout,
Layout.
click the auth hook.
Why is still, it's still
It
not
just says
signed.
you signed up. Missing.
Sign. That's weird. Is it because my Mozilla?
I don't know. I haven't seen that before.
Wait, I think do I have it in here? Give me 1 second. Let me grab the React Dev tool real quick.
You might use to close the inspector and reopen it.
Yeah, sure. Um, okay.
And then refresh.
Do I need to restart the server real quick?
Maybe try closing Chrome and reopening Chrome. See if
Okay.
that fixes it.
Okay. Components. Okay, that's weird.
Well, I guess I can see it's working.
Yeah. I think we can just try to do console log, maybe if you want to see
Yeah.
the out.
Yeah, you can just do a console log.
Okay. Let's try in here. User. Oh, sorry, the out, right? I guess.
Yeah. Just user. Yeah.
Or user. Okay.
And
Yep.
that's all the information there. Cool.
I think we
And if
can
you,
show. Sorry, go ahead.
so can you go back to the issue then?
Yep.
So the sign-in button is displayed if you're not signed in. The sign-in one's displayed if you are signed in. Okay. So let's take a look at the notes really quickly.
Which one?
Let's take a look at the notes after adding this feature, like the notes in
Oh,
the
okay,
actual
this one.
issue.
Okay.
So everyone should be able to sign in now. A test shopping list should be created, and everyone should be invited to collaborate.
So I
Okay.
think these are the steps we're gonna want to follow after we've merged the changes.
Yeah, I think we need to create.
No, you can do this now. If you go to Firebase, you can take a look.
Okay.
Go to the Firestore, which I think is that one. Yeah. So you see how your name's there already?
Yep.
So let me read the issue again.
The issue.
So create a collection using your user ID.
Okay, so this is user ID.
Yeah, so copy that and start a collection
Mm-hmm.
and click next. You can you go back to the issue again.
To the issue.
Yeah. Create a document. Add a document. Okay, so go back and just add a document in there. So
I
you
need
can
to
do auto ID. That's
auto
fine.
ID. Okay. And
And then
then
click save for now. And then I think you're gonna add a field called items.
just string or
It should be a
array
array, probably.
and just add right, I guess. We don't need anything here, or do we need to add something?
If you go back to the issue, I think it says
Collection.
oh, sorry, actually you have to add a collection called items in the first column.
Okay.
So you can
Oh.
delete cancel this.
Okay.
And then there's start a collection called items.
Another one.
Yeah.
Next, and then this should be auto again.
I think it can be auto, yeah.
Okay. And then the items
Inside the users collection, yeah.
should be every okay.
Documents. Inside each of these documents is a field called shared lists.
Side each document. Okay.
So go into your user and add a shared lists field. That should be a string array, I guess.
Okay.
An array.
Array.
Yeah. I think you can share more than one list.
That's it. Update.
Yeah.
Okay.
then can you go back to the issue again?
And cite the field, please.
So let's see. So you have to create a list. You have to add something to that array with the ID and the shopping list name. So if you
Okay,
go
so
back,
ID.
yeah, your user ID.
Okay, so user ID from here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one.
Slash, and then yeah, and just slash user ID slash, and then it's going to be that collection ID that you have, the very first one, the ASP.
Oh, sorry, wait. Oh yeah, this one. Hold on. So in here, like put the collection ID and then slash.
Yeah. And then the shopping list ID. And I think the shopping list is supposed to be that one. So give that a different name.
Which?
Like yeah, that one. The ASP KED.
Oh, okay, this one.
Yeah, that should be like something else, like dinner or something.
Okay. Should I put dinner or should I put the ID?
Well, the ID could be something else. So it's not the same as your ID. So I think it should be different.
Hold on. I'm not sure.
Okay. So go to the first column. You can save, you can update that for now,
Okay.
and then go to the first column. And then go to the three dots on the top.
Or here or
Yeah. Yeah, right there. Oh, actually not there. Can you double click on the name of the collection?
mm, maybe
That's
this one.
okay. Just delete it then.
Delete it, I guess, yeah.
And then create a new one and then call it something. That'll be the shopping list name.
Okay.
Or you can do,
Dinner.
yeah.
Okay. And then the items should be okay. This one should be updated to be dinner, right?
Yeah. I think
Yep.
that's how it works. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see the shopping lists in the app yet.
Yeah, we cannot see it from now, I guess.
Can you check if there's any code about these shopping lists that's set up already?
Let's see. In the apps, I believe it should be this one. By the way, should we do commit first real quick or no?
Yeah, we can do a commit. I think we're done with the coding.
Okay. So I will commit one by one, I guess, from here. Add sign in button and sign out button. And also the config should be update wireless config. Okay. And do you want to see this one before?
No, it's okay. You can just push for now.
Okay.
Make a pull request.
Okay. Going to the code, compare and pull request. What is the title? Should be the same like in issue?
Yeah, it can be to make it easier.
Okay. This one.
Yeah, that's good.
And do we need to remove this one, I believe, right? For example,
Yeah, you can remove that and add and then fill out the fields there of what this is changing.
description, add sign in button and add sign out button. we'll say set up the Firebase config. Okay. Related issue, we can say if you write clauses and then the first issue, right?
Yeah. That one.
Yep. Okay. Acceptance criteria.
Just
we
copy and paste the one from the issue.
copy here. Just mark everything. Type of change. Can we say new feature or
Yeah, that'll be a new feature.
new feature? And then the updates. What should we add? Like add the component
Yeah, we just added the sign in and sign out to the layout.
sign in. Maybe this one copy to the layout JSX.
Yeah.
Okay. And then update the config.js. Okay. Oh, we need to take a screenshot about the UI, right?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
And let me get back to the master real quick.
Okay.
And then npm start. Okay. Screenshot. This is the before. And the after. Okay. Yep. Do we need to put this one? The test.
You can just write that they should try signing in and signing out.
Okay. Sign in and sign out. Okay.
And you can create that.
Here. Let's see. Okay.
All right, let's ask Caitlin for a review.
Yeah,
Sure.
had me. Can I just ask y'all to do one more thing just to show
Yeah, sure.
one more step of the process? Lewis, do you mind? You can add me, Ray, if you want to add me to the PR, but then do you mind, Lewis, sharing your screen and Ray can navigate you to add yourself to the contributors file just so we can see how the like handoff goes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, sure. So you want
Just
me to
like
add myself
pull
to the
down the
contributors?
yeah, pull down the branch and then like push it back up just so we can see what that looks like.
Sounds good.
One second.
Sure.
Mhm.
Let me share my screen.
So team, we're just seeing now like this issue was like not very lengthy, so we didn't need to switch off. But usually when we're pair programming, we'll have one person driving and one person navigating for a bit, and then we'll switch so that you can both get a chance to like do more of the typing versus do more of the like, you know, strategizing. And so we're just going to show you like what the Git steps look like for when we switch pairs.
Actually, I don't have it on this computer. Let me just quickly get the projects.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we can see how how to make sure we have it on our computer as well.
Go to the code. Mm, yep.
Development. Let me try this.
Okay.
Okay.
The branch name should be RS. Git.
Yeah.
Git. Mm,
How do I list brand?
wait. Mm,
How
should,
do-
I think you need to pull
branch.
first. Git check out directly, I guess.
Oh, really? I thought I could see all the. There was a way to see all the branches. I couldn't remember what it was.
Git branch mean that's all, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Git checkout. Yep.
And then I'm just gonna add myself to contributors.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to do this.
That's fine.
It's totally fine. I just, that was an easy thing to demo here, so.
Where's my? Okay. I'll add this. It should be there now.
Yep.
Lovely. Cool. Okay, so then now let's give it up for Ray and Lewis for doing what is very scary, which is live coding for an audience. They rocked it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and demo the easy part, which is reviewing their PR. So let me share my screen. Oh, bye, Ayu. And we want this desktop. All right. Okay, so you should see GitHub now. Let me go back to the code. So they've added me as a reviewer on their pull request. So usually what would happen at this step is that you would tag on Slack, be like, hey, team 2, we're ready for your review now. And they would take a look at your review. And we would come in here to GitHub pull requests. And I see there's a pull request for issue 1. So we can, and you can see I've been requested as a reviewer. So because they put in the work to write this beautiful description, it's really easy for me to understand what they've been working on without having, even though I've been watching them. Normally you won't be watching each other, so I can say, oh, okay, they added a sign in button and a sign out button, and they set up the Firebase configs. This is the issue if I want to have a closer look with all the description. And I can see these are the acceptance criteria. They've checked everything off. And it's a new feature. These are the updates. The screenshots are really, really, really helpful to just easily understand what's going on here. So before, this is what it looked like, and after I can see there's a sign out button now. Another really nice thing on GitHub, we have actions set up so that there is always going to automatically be this link that is generated. That is, this link is basically your changes, but in the browser. So if I click on this link, I can now see the app with the sign in button, even though it hasn't been deployed to our main branch. This is just like a sandbox basically, so I can see their changes without having to necessarily pull down the changes and then run it locally. So I can see, yeah, there's a sign in button here. If I click it, it's gonna let me sign in, maybe. Yes. And I'm signed in. Go away. Yeah, and now it says sign out because I'm already signed in. So if I click that, it switches over. So able to follow their testing steps and criteria. Looks good from my end. Let's see, let me take a look at the changes that they've made, and I can say, oh, yep, Lewis added himself to contributors. They added these configs in. They've added sign in button, sign out button. And so this view of the files changed is really helpful. Sometimes there's going to be lots of files and you might get lost in what they are. So I can say, okay, like I've looked at this file here. Let me go ahead and check that off. That looks good. I can kind of collapse it. And I know I've looked at that. And I want to look down here at the bottom and I see, oh, okay, this is great. They wrote this like really cleanly. Oh, I see a console log that we probably, maybe I'll ask a question and say, do we want to leave this in right now? And maybe I can like start a review. And everything else looks good for me. So maybe I'll say, we can tag them if we wanted to. So I can say, hey, Lewis and Ray, just one question for you before I approve. And so maybe I'll just comment and not hold off on approving or requesting changes because maybe I'm not sure if we're using that for debugging or if we want to remove it. So I'll submit the review. And maybe do one of you want to respond to my
Sure. Should I share screen again or should I just respond it and then update it?
You can do it either one. If so, this is something that will happen. My most common feedback on PRs is, hey, is this console log supposed to be here? And like that might be something where you're like, oh no, it's not. Let me just quickly change it. And so if you can make the change and then it'll just show up in the review and say, hey, I removed it. Something like that, team. So this is why we have peer reviews, to make sure to have someone double check over our code and make sure that everything
If you refresh, I put some comment actually.
Oh, perfect. So we can see.
Okay, and then
Yes.
Luis already removed it.
Yay, so he's gonna remove it. So I can
I didn't remove it. I added a suggestion.
Oh, okay.
This is how this actually what I should have done. So if you want to make a suggestion, that's an even easier way to make a review. So maybe I can show you how to do that, even though Lewis made the same suggestion. So the way you can do this is instead of leaving a comment, there's an option to, if you click here, it says add a suggestion. And I
Just
think
make it empty.
yeah, just like this.
Yeah.
And then it turns red like that. So the nice thing about this is, as you can see, Lewis made a suggestion, and there's an option here to just commit the suggestion. And it's good, just going to add it as a commit from GitHub, which is kind of fancy. So I'm going to go ahead and click on commit changes. And you can see it's no longer in here. We don't see that console log anymore. And if we go back to the conversation, we should see a commit, which is just update. And this is kind of cool. Lewis made the change, but I was the one that committed it. So it adds both of us as the author of the commit. So then that's really nice because I can also just click here and click resolve conversation. So, okay, it was resolved. I'll just give that thumbs up and resolve it. Now everything looks good. So I'll go ahead and come back over here, review changes again, and say everything looks great. This is not necessary, but we have time for me to review to add this. I really love this extension on Chrome, which lets you just add GIFs to PRs. So yay. I like this one. It just makes it more fun. I can share that link for y'all. So approve, submit review. And usually then first we'll have our other pair review it. Then we'll have the mentors review it. So there'll be 2 stages of peer review. So first you'll ask the other team. Once they've approved it, then it moves on to the mentors. Once everyone's approved it, then the people who created the PR will be the ones to click merge pull request. So I'll let Ray or Lewis be the person to click the green button. And then
You can do it, Ray, so since you wrote the code.
Okay.
yay, so you can see it merged to main, so it's currently building. And you can delete this branch if we want to. I think we can also set it up to auto delete if we want to. We'll handle that later, but that's basically the process. What questions do you have about what just happened? Specifically about the workflow? Or maybe a better way for us to do this is let's recap what just happened. So what was the very first thing that Ray and Lewis did when they got a new issue?
Created a new branch.
Yeah, even before that, what did they do?
They looked at the issue.
Yeah, so very obvious, but yeah, we're gonna look at the issue, read through the steps. It seems like very, very obvious, but it's a good first step because we don't want to do too much, right? We want to make sure we're staying within what is being asked of us so that we're not doing the work of next week or maybe the other team's work right now. We want to understand what we're doing. And then, like Emily said, we're going to create the branch, which the convention that we use is use your initials just so that we understand whose branch it is, and then some kind of description of the work that you're doing. Yeah, and then from there, we had what were the different roles that each Ray and Lewis were doing?
So Ray, I think, was like the driver, and then Lewis was like the navigator.
Yeah, exactly. So one person is the person who's sharing their screen is the person that, is typing the words or clicking the things. And then the navigator is the person who's kind of helping to direct them through the work. Yeah, great. And then once they've made a change that they're ready to kind of send up to GitHub, do you remember what the Git commands were that they needed to use? Or like what were the processes that they needed to do before they could create a pull request? I don't know if that's a clear question.
You add the files, commit it with a comment, and then you push it to your branch.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. If you're not super used to doing those Git commands, it might take a little bit of practice. So it's totally fine if you need to refer to notes and things. It'll become more second nature, or your terminal will yell at you. I always forget to add files, and it's like, you haven't added anything, you can't commit yet. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks, terminal, and you can just do it yourself. So don't worry if you forget the commands. You can always refer to notes, and also your computer will tell you if you do something wrong. But yeah, and then when we're doing the PR, make sure you're adding a description so that your other team who's reviewing it has lots of context. Yeah. Any questions about the basic flow of things? It'll become more comfortable as you do it, but.
I have a question about the PR template. So there was like description on the beginning and then updates down there. What is the difference between those? Because they seem like a little bit at least for this one, they seem kind of similar.
Yeah, I think the way that I usually use this, well, actually we can look even at the well, it's not linked here, so I'll be lazy, but usually I actually this updates section, I usually don't always fill in text here and just have the screenshots. More
okay.
information is never a bad thing, but if you are feeling like it's like super repetitive, I think it's okay for like the description to be the text-based description, and then the updates, just having the screenshots there is fine.
Okay.
Depending on the issue, you might find there's more of a need to add more context than somewhere else, but add as much context as you can. But if you're repeating yourself, it's okay to like be more concise there.
Can I add something, Caitlin?
Of course.
So usually when I'm doing pull requests, I just pretend that myself will be reading my as a someone that will be reading my pull request. So the goal is like to make everyone is like understand about what you're doing in the pull request rather than they doesn't know anything about your pull request, and then it will be difficult to review because maybe this is like a simple case, so you don't need to have a lot of time to review. But if you have like 10 files, it will be like difficult if you don't understand the context. Maybe kind of like that's the idea.
Yeah, totally. Actually, even Ray said that he pretends that he's going to be reviewing it. Something that I even do beyond that is before I add anyone as a reviewer, I don't know, with a fresh set of eyes, once I create the pull request, I then go through and I look at it like, okay, does this make sense? Look at the files changed. Okay, is there anything, I don't know, sometimes looking at it in this view, it's just different than looking at it in my IDE. And I'm like, oh, there's something I should do before I pass this over to the next team. So writing it as if you're going to be reviewing it, or even reviewing it yourself before you pass it to other people can be really helpful. But yeah, that's a great question, Emily. Any other questions? Oh, sorry, I couldn't find my stop share button. There it is. Cool. In that case, I believe the next thing we're going to do is take a look at our issues for this week, which Ray is going to walk us through. Yeah, take it away, Ray. Oh, Ray, you're muted. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. So there is a project brief page markdown in here. So we can see the next team, which is Shen and Emily, will be doing the second issues.
Do you want
And
to share the screen, Ray, maybe?
wait, did I not share the screen?
Oh, did you? Maybe you did, and I can't see it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. Sorry.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Yeah, the third issue should be for Andrea and Davina. So let's me get the second issue and third issue. So it should be the same idea. The workflow should be same. Firstly, you need to read everything well in here, and then trying to follow the acceptance criteria. And then I don't know, Kathleen, this is already done by the template, I guess, right?
Yep, it should be. It would be a good idea for the team to double check that those things are done. But if they're checked off, it probably means that it's already in the code.
Okay, and then yeah, after you review everything in here, and then technically you need to follow another criteria, and then just did what we have done before, and also check the notes after you're done with everything. Same thing also with the third issue, and then follow everything, read everything first before you start it, follow the criteria, and then also the notes. And yep, do I need to explain anymore or that's it?
Maybe we can just talk through maybe at least the summary of
Okay.
each of the issues, just so that they have we have a baseline to understand what we're doing this week.
Okay, sure. So for the second one, let's say I want to read all the my shopping list and the items in them. So here we see the most important feature our app to look the shopping list to see what's on them, and then user can see what they need to buy technically. And I believe in the list home and then the active shopping, let's see, components are the best place in our code to do that. So maybe the focus on this issue, it will be around in the list. So in the home JSX, let's see, we find the here, maybe it will be easier. And then the single list component is used to render name of each shopping list. So here, let's see, I think this is come from the data here. So you might need to render something in here, which is we need to handle all the lists in here. And then inside the home, you might need to rendering this data technically. And let's see, the same thing with list JSX, I believe. We go to the list JSX, and then we also have the data. And then there is a to do here. You just need to render all the data in here. And yep. For the third one, the third issue, So as a user, I want to be able to navigate to all pages in the application by clicking the links in the navbar. I think it's because we don't have any implementation in the React router in here, so we cannot use this link at all. And then it's like not moving to another page. This still same. So for the third issue, we can implement the navlink and from the component of React router DOM. And let's see the all links function. And then for this link, I believe it should be in the app page, which is around this area, routes and router. And if you don't really understand about the React router, there is a documentation here. You can access it and then try to figure out how to implement the React router in here. And yep. Anything to add, Louis and Caitlin?
No, nothing for me.
Yeah, I think that sounded great. Maybe, well, does anyone have any questions about either of those issues at an immediate, like any immediate questions? We're always here for we've gone through a lot of information today, so don't worry if you feel a little bit overwhelmed. Once you get with your partner, you'll have time to read through it. And if you have questions, maybe your partner can answer them, maybe your team can, but we're always here to answer those questions. But does anyone have any initial questions from looking at these issues?
I've got a quick one for issue number 2.
Sure.
Yeah, so for for like essentially the acceptance criteria for that single list component, do we need to have a list on our own Firebase like login for that to show up? Or essentially, how are we going to get that list from that login? If I think the only one that I'm aware of is on Reynaldo's user ID right now. So will we need to make those on our own accounts as well within Firebase?
Yeah, I think so, since you can't actually create lists right now. You have to go into Firebase, and I think I got it correct, but I'll double check the setup, but it has to be set up in a way that your shared list shows up in your user account.
Got it. Yeah, so we will need to add like that shared list field on our own Firebase login in order for us to double check this step.
Yeah, I think you'll need to add that shared list field.
I think maybe what we can do is we'll just have, once this call is over, we'll ask everyone to sign in so that you're showing up here, and maybe the mentors can handle adding the,
Chat list.
yeah, so that y'all don't have to, because this is the first time we're using this particular workflow with y'all, so we're a little bit experimenting. So this workflow meaning like this auth flow. So I think maybe the easiest thing to do would let y'all focus on getting used to pair programming and everything, and the mentors will take care of doing that. So we'll send a Slack message after this, just what needs to be done. So Shane, it looks like you are logged in, so you're good. But the rest of the team will ask you to just open the app and sign in there. Does that sound good to you guys, Ray and Lewis?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, not about the issues, but about like the flow of the programming. After somebody commits a pull request to the main branch, should we be like pulling that down locally?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yes. So we'll definitely walk y'all through it, especially this week. But yeah, once a pull request has been approved by everyone and then merged to the main branch, yeah, you're going to want to pull down those changes before you start on your issue the next week. So the first step before you create a new branch, a good habit is just pull main, so you have all of the changes, and then create a new branch. That's a really good point, because you want to make sure you have all of the changes. So week by week, you won't need to worry too much. Like you're going to each work on a feature, and then at the end, merge it and pull everything down. So you won't have to worry like while you're working, pulling down changes and then worry about the other team's branch too much. But once it's merged, it is a good habit to pull down main and always just make sure you're working from the most recent changes. Yeah, great question. Any other questions before we send you off into the world?
I had a quick question about getting the second set of PR review from the mentors. So when we add like the other team and they've approved it, do we then go back in and then add mentors in and
Yeah,
then
you can
tag you
totally-
guys?
You can totally do that. One thing that we do like to ask is also just sending Slack messages to make sure. And so we have those groups set up of like at TCL 68 mentors where you can just easily tag all of us. We'll all be taking a look at your PRs, like just so that we can get there as quickly as possible. We'll just tag all of us, and whoever is available will take a look as soon as we can.
Okay.
So yeah, you can add us on GitHub, but definitely also tag us on Slack. So that we're getting alerted as soon as possible.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. And we'll try and like throughout the week, as we are monitoring your progress, just like let you know what you should be doing. If you're like if there's not a step that's obvious, we'll try and remind you. So yeah, cool. Well, I think we're just about at time. I think that's everything. Oh, actually, let me just go ahead. I know we're right at time, but I just want to make sure that you all know what's going on this week. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry. So this is in our code base. We have this project brief, which is a really, really useful file for you to reference. Oh, you cannot see my screen. Sorry. There we go. So the project brief is where you have kind of what's going on week by week. So this week, we're doing our weekly sync right now. We'll be pair programming with your partner that we've just talked about. There's also office hours. I'll be hosting office hours this week. The mentors will just take turns week by week hosting office hours, which is just time you can have. If you have questions about the work that you're doing, that's a great place to come. If you just have questions, just want to chat about what it's like to be a software engineer, whatever you want, that's your time. So you'll hear more about this on Slack. We'll get that scheduled for this week. And then also, hopefully, we usually find that the week one issues are not super time consuming. And so there's also self-study learning modules for you. These are really good to supplement what we've been talking about today. So like Git, code review, communication, pair programming, these are all things you're going to be doing this week. They're all things we've talked about a little bit, but this is just a lot more detail for you to, and also agile workflow. So the most important thing is make sure that you're doing your issue for the week. Every week, there's also going to be, almost every week, there's going to be some kind of self-study learning module that you can do on your own time. But yeah, have fun. How are we feeling? Nervous? Excited? Both? Yeah, cool. All right, well, we will be around on Slack if you need us. And yeah, be noisy if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.